I am very excited to be here. I'm Maria Bailey, the president of the Water Street District Business Association, and this evening we have a very special event planned for you. We are so pleased to have an insider's tour of the Lifeguard Arena. We'll be showing you everything, the front, the back. You're going to see stuff nobody else gets to see. So tune in, get comfortable, and we're going to get started.
Welcome to Lifeguard Arena. I'm Troy Westover. I'm the facilities manager for the City of Henderson and participated in the construction of this building. We're starting outside the arena, right at one of the main entries to the arena, right as you can see behind the cameraman here. But before we go in there, I want to explain some of the work that's going on out here, because if you've been to downtown Water Street, you've seen a lot of the improvements, and especially right in front of Water Street. You can see how we've shrunk the street down, and we've tried to create a pedestrian-friendly pathway so people can get in and out of the building, and eventually we'll have events when we're allowed to due to COVID. We can have events down here where we can gather a lot of people and close off the street and have a lot of fun with block parties. As you walk into this entry here at Lifeguard Arena, we have some artwork here that is representative of our Henderson Silver Knights logo. Home means Henderson, and the gold knight riding on the silver knight horse there. Good opportunity for a selfie. And here we have the Public Works coffee shop. They have a satellite facility set up here from their main store that's just up the street from us here. They have the ability to provide hot drinks for those who are out on the skating rink, and they have this nice area to gather and get your coffee and sit down and enjoy it. But another one of the things that is unique here is because of the pitch of Water Street and the way the elevation drops, we have about 10 feet to make up. So we created this patio deck out in front so you can go outside on this observation deck and enjoy your hot beverage, and watch a parade go by or whatever else might be happening. As you can see from here in the lobby, we have a lot of glass so that you can see the activities that are going on. When the Silver Knights are practicing, you could be watching them, or you may watch some other youth or child or adult activity that's going on in the building. It gives you all that opportunity without actually freezing when you go inside that portion of it right now. Here's one of our ice rinks. As you can see out in the middle, it has the Gold Knights logo. Now when we get to the other side, you'll see that they have the Silver Knights logo. It's always an incentive for the players on the Silver Knights team to try to get better and improve so they can play up to the Gold Knights team. Now on each rink, we have the ability to hold about 300 patrons in these stands here, and then there's the standing room here. So we have this drink rail so that you can come in and bring your hot beverage from Public Works Coffee, set it up here, watch what's going on, or you can bring a laptop. You can sit here with your laptop and do some work while you're waiting. Now we're on the Silver Knights arena side, and you can see on the floor here the Silver Knights logo out there. We're actually dressing the ice with the Zamboni as we speak, cleaning it up, making it easier to see that logo out there. Across the way you can see the offices and locker rooms for our Henderson Silver Knight, and eventually we'll work our way over there and we can talk about that a little bit. So if you've been to City National Arena, you've probably seen the Mckenzie River restaurant that they have there. We've taken that same concept that at City National was between the two sheets of ice, and we've moved it to the front of the building and created an opportunity for Mckenzie River to have this space here. And because we moved it to the front, it also gives us the opportunity to take advantage of another patio deck that we've created out here, so you could have outdoor dining and watch again another parade or some activity that's going on Water Street, or just enjoy the weather. All right, now we're down into one of the fun parts of the area. Well, I guess they're all fun parts, but near the Zamboni Parking. This is the area where all the Zambonis come in off the floor. When they're done, they scrape up the ice, they bring it in here, they take it over to this pit, they drop it in this pit, and there's a heater down there that heats it up, and it drains down and runs out into the sewer system. So behind this door is the chiller that is purchased for the building. The chiller does a multiple of tasks. It freezes the floor to create the ice, and it creates heat and cooling throughout the building. It does all this with a bunch of voodoo and witchcraft and stuff I don't really understand. But it makes everything work properly so that you're not too cold when you're near the ice, and it still keeps the ice at a nice 17 degrees. We will go in, I'll let you take a look. One of the things you'll notice is all the caution signs. The system is run on ammonia, which is kind of new to the city, something that we're not used to handling. But it goes back to the origination of air conditioning systems where they used to use ammonia instead of freons and other refrigerants that we use now. So when you look back here, you're going to see what about $3 million worth of chiller looks like. From here you can see the ice. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how they build that ice floor. So they start by over excavating about 2 feet, and then they start off by putting in a hot water loop to create a thermal barrier between the ground and the ice that we're putting in there to keep it from experiencing the freeze-thaw cycles that you might normally see if it was to go flush up against the ground otherwise. Once they put in that hot water loop, then they cover that with sand and insulation, and then they start to construct the ice floor. And they put in a bunch of 1-inch tubing about every 3 inches on center, all the way up and down where the chiller runs all that chilled water to in order to freeze the ice. Then they pour concrete on top of it, and then they go through with a little misting machine and they mist that concrete, and they build up about a 1/4 inch of ice, and then they go over and they paint the ice. They actually have a machine that goes through and spray paints the ice that white color that you see. They come through with their appliques and put in the circles and the blue lines and all of the different markings that you need on the floor. The center logos go in, then they go back over it with that misting machine to cover that up. At the end of the day, you end up with about 3/4 of an inch of ice. That's all there is out there. The other interesting thing that we've been taught as we build the ice out here is the high quality of ice that we have here in Nevada. We've been told that T-Mobile Arena has one of the top 5, has been ranked in the top 5 as far as quality of ice. It's because of our lack of humidity. When you get a bunch of humidity, it changes the culture of the air and you start getting fog buildup and things like that. So because of our lack of humidity, we have better control of the temperature, and we're able to control the temperature on top of the ice, and it stays in a much better condition. So I'm going to make another comparison to City National here. If you've been to City National, the space that you go to for the Mckenzie River restaurant is between the 2 sheets of ice, and that's where we would be here now. So we talked earlier about how we moved the restaurant to the front. So that opened up this space to have a leasable option. So they can sublet this area, and you could use it for meetings, weddings, any of those. Our quilting club could come in here, and you would be able to use this space and have views down onto the sheets of ice on either side. So we're on the 2nd floor again, and we're at the corner between Water Street and Atlantic. This is another one of the leasable spaces that we have in the building, spaces that are meant to replicate the type of services that we had when we had the convention center here. So again, you could lease this for a wedding, a meeting, your quilting club, whatever the case may be. But from this, you can see the tremendous views you have of the mountains out towards section 19, and then all the downtown city area and down Water Street. So this is another one of the great features that we have here at Lifeguard Arena, and the ability to interact with our new plaza that we're building here at City Hall. If you can look out this direction, you see as you go out these doors, there's a bridge that will take you down to our new plaza. So if you have an event going on at the plaza, you can be out there, you can come up these stairs, over this bridge, through this pre-function area, over to the restaurant or out onto the ice, and then again back out into the plaza. So additionally, at this spot is where we start to see the delineation from where the team space is. So behind here is their offices, their lounge, workout facilities, and we'll see all of those as we go through the rest of the tour. So now we're outside on the bridge that we were just talking about, and you can start to see how this interacts with the plaza. You can see how we've increased the area of the plaza, the upper plaza, so that it comes out almost to the street. We have a nice pedestrian walkway between the two areas, going to slow traffic down to about 15 miles an hour so that you're safe to come in and out of that way. Then you can see as you come up, we have different colored concrete patterns, lots of lighting out here for the different events. We'll have some turf area here. And then as you continue to span over here, you can see the play structure for the children. There'll be a splash pad with some fogging features, some neon lights that are, or neon's old school, right? LED lights that'll be shining into that, so it'll give a nice feature at night. And then you can see some big round discs there. Those are shade structures that are going to go up into the air about 25 to 30 feet. So we'll have about 9 of those big discs up in the air to create a lot of shade. And then as you can see, we've created this lower amphitheater area so that we can have certain events down here below. It is 42 feet wide by 20 feet high. The city and the Knights will jointly program it, but it'll be a great opportunity to have viewing parties for Silver Knights here on the plaza. So here are one of the locker rooms that we have for the public to use for rec activities. For example, your youth leagues or your adult leagues will have the opportunity to use these public locker room areas. So we have 5 on each side, so you could have 2 teams on the ice, 2 teams getting ready, and they can swap. And then a 5th one if you have a female team and a male needs to dress out, or vice versa. And then separate changing facilities for officials when you have games. So let's go inside and see how this looks. Oh, being used right now. We'll go to the next one. How exciting is that? Okay, this is a little less harrowing. So as you can see, they're quite industrial. As you can imagine, when you have a team of teenagers that just come off the ice and they might have lost a hockey game and they have a big stick in their hand, you want to make things as indestructible as possible. So everything in here is constructed so it's hard to break, easy to use and replicate, but very durable and usable. All right, so we're at the team bench area. So the teams would sit here if you had a rec league game going on and go in and out through the ice through these things, these door openings here. Then of course, if you get into trouble in the middle of a game, the penalty box. Everybody wants to come and get their picture taken in the penalty box, quite a popular place. The other thing that's interesting, now that we've been operating the facility for a while, you can kind of get an idea of how fast those pucks are going by the size of the dents they have in the wall when you can see some bigger ones even behind you up here.
Oh my.
So the point being that if you're on the bench, you need to keep your eyes on the ice. This is a space that's a little bit interesting to me. I might be a little bit weird that way, but creating a laundry room for the players here was kind of interesting. You have 2 full-size commercial washers, 2 full-size commercial dryers. As you can imagine, there's a lot of laundry generated by this team. So here we are in the team lounge, created here so they have a space to download a little bit, eat some food that we can bring in and keep warm or cold, whatever the case may be. Eventually, I guess they'll probably have a ping pong table in here, but they have the ability to have their LED monitors, watch Sports Center or whatever, the National Hockey League game that's going on, or maybe an AHL game that's going on. But they also have the opportunity, because of these windows, to see events going on the plaza, and you can see the wonderful view they have from this space out onto our plaza deck. So here's the team workout space. As you can see, they have the ability to put people on treadmills, cycles, do some weightlifting, so they can do heavy duty exercising, or they can just get limbered up for practice or whatever the case may be. We also have this turf here so they can do some short sprints. That's a good way to get loosened up and warmed up to get out on the ice. All right, so now we're in the team's actual locker room here. So they do locker rooms a little different than you might have experienced in high school. So you begin by coming in through a door off to my right here, and you come into the dry locker room. So you get out of your street clothes, down into your skivvies. You come into this locker room, you put on your jersey, you go through these double doors out onto the ice, you exercise, you get your training in, you come back in, you get out of your jersey, hang it up on the wall here, then you go out, hit the showers, the bathroom, back again to your dry lockers where your street clothes are, get redressed, and then go out the door. Another amazing feature about this space is, as you can imagine, After all of these young men have been working out on the ice, the uniforms might begin to smell a little bit. So we have the ability to close this space off and dehumidify it and draw all the moisture out of the air so the uniform's dry, and you can eliminate some of the smells that come from that. Now we'll finish off our tour today at the Livery, which is their retail space where they sell the Silver Knights jerseys and the Gold Knights jerseys. Everything that you would find out at City National or T-Mobile Arena, you can also find here.